If you are thinking about buying an Apollo Go scooter, you need to hear this story first. My scooter, an Apollo Go, that is named Zenyatta, went from a reliable ride to a dangerous liability within hours of a recent firmware update from Apollo. What happened next was a lot of patience, documentation, and unfortunately, a lack of answers. So on June 3rd, 2025, I initiated a firmware update from the Apollo app. It seemed simple enough, a routine update, but when I got home, I noticed something strange. Before I even got home, I was trying to use the scooter while departing from my train ride that I do 3 times a week. And I noticed that the Apollo scooter was not engaging. It was staying in eco mode consistently. So I knew that there had been something that was affected by the update. So what I did was I literally could not ride the scooter. I had to sit down at the train station and wait for the update to finish. Once it finished, I was able to put the scooter back in sports mode and ride home. I got home, I put the scooter on charge, and I went to bed. So the next day, I got up, and when I got up, I went outside to get my scooter prepped for the rest of the day. After prepping it, I noticed that the scooter would not turn off. And even though you hit the power button and it turns off, it would turn back on. And I didn't want to put that on a train, and for whatever reason, it would not turn off. I just didn't want the bright lights shining at anyone. So I left my Apollo Go at home and I took another scooter. What happened next changed everything. So I get a call from my neighbor that she was smelling smoke in the basement of our house. And she says, I think there's something going on with the fire, and I think it has to do with your scooters. So I'm on the phone with her, instructing her to go down and take a look and let me know. She finally disclosed that my Apollo Go was in the corner and it was running at full speeds. And what does she need to do? I asked her if she was able to put the brake on and take the unit outside, because she said the wheels won't stop spinning. I asked her to put it on its side, and I continued to work until the end of my middle portion of my shift, and I left and I came home. So 4 hours later, I arrive home and the scooter is in eco mode and the wheels are still spinning. 4 hours later, with no one touching it. Zenyatta was still powered on, hours after it had been parked. The throttle was stuck in an active state, and it still would not power down. It just kept spinning nonstop. I had to physically disconnect the handlebars assembly to make it stop. That moment told me this wasn't a user error. This was a system failure. I documented everything, videos, photos, burn marks on my basement floor from the spinning rubber tires. And to Apollo's credit, Charles from their support team responded quickly. He was respectful, he was understanding, and he'd offered to ship me a return box so that their repair center could inspect the unit. But here's where the cracks started to show. The process. Even after the scooter arrived at their Kansas repair facility on June 11th, there were delays. First, it was under review. Then more time passed. Then came some vague message about waiting on management or a repair manager. Each update pushed the timeline further. No diagnostics, no repair timeline, no resolution. And what worried me the most was this. If this had happened in an apartment or near someone unaware, it could have caused real harm. Had this caught fire in my basement, or had it been on the train and ran full into someone, I would have been liable for that. All because of a firmware update. So this isn't just about Zenyatta. This is what happens if your Apollo scooter breaks. Will you get help? Will they move quickly? Or will you be caught in limbo like I am? I had the option to drop this unit at an ABT in Glenview, Illinois, which is about like 20 minutes from me. It's a partner location, but instead, when I suggested that, I was told to ship it to Kansas. More time was lost with that. More questions were unanswered. If this was my only ride, my only scooter, I'd be stranded, because right now I've been without my scooter since I shipped it to them, since it arrived at the Kansas location. I'm not here to bash Apollo. I love the scooter. I love my Apollo Go. That's why this matters so much to me. But a premium brand needs a premium response when things go wrong. Transparency, timelines, and like a real care for safety. So before you hit the buy now on the Apollo Go, ask yourself one thing. What happens if it breaks? Because I'm living that answer right now. I'll keep you posted when Zenyatta comes home. Until then, ride safe and stay informed.
It's solid. I do think this piece is going to come off, so I'm going to make sure I put some glue back there. But other than that, everything else is good. I'll see you guys in a bit.